Some of you have asked me why I'm not getting the Samsung S23 Ultra. It's simple. I have the Vivo X90 Pro Plus. Now, listening to that cold open, it may seem like I'm poised and ready to bash Samsung, and I'm not. For instance, my horse in this race is the consumer. I truly feel blessed to join the conversation, and full disclosure, my main Sims lives in the snow. I mean the Pixel 7 Pro. You see, not everything is black and white. Well, this artistic photo that was shot on the Vivo X90 Pro Plus is. But it leads me to my first point of why I'm not purchasing the Samsung S23 Ultra. Photography is just simply incredible on the Vivo series. I've had experience with 4 Vivos so far, and my interaction with my Vivo X80 Pro changed my relationship with smartphone photography. Using the X80 Pro, I quickly learned that Vivo's V chip was excellent, and as a whole, their understanding of image processing was very solid. The V2 chip enhances that belief. For instance, look at this shot. There's not much light on the front of the building, which I appropriately captured. I got a lot of detail, and you can see that as far as HDR, if like you look at the inner detail of the building, if you look at the sky where the sun is coming over and peeking over, and this is all done by playing with things like shutter speed. Now, if you look at the super raw image, and remember, these are images that are straight from the sensor and stacked, so there's multiple images. So you'll see that when it's on the viewfinder, it's probably darker, but when you get it back in post, it's a little bit lighter and you have full control. But I wanted to present it in this case where you see that it's lighter because you can see the detail. So if you look further, like if you look at the roof line, you look at some of the dirt on the fascia, you look at inside of the shadow. So like up where there's like an open space inside of the building, you can actually see the ceiling back there. It's simply incredible. So now let's go to a typical golden hour shot. And these lights on this particular building are on from 6 at night to about 10 in the morning. So they're really a good representation of where some smartphones will fall apart, where Vivos just make quick work of it. They're not blooming, even though they're typically the lights that would show blooming. And then if you look at the detail on the building is just simply incredible. I covered several photos, and now I want to go into videography. Now, I mirror what Grant Likes Tech had said about the videography. Between the Vivo and the Xiaomi, they're my B-roll cameras. If I'm outside, pretty much it's always going to be the Vivo or the Xiaomi, and I'm probably going to start using it more indoors just because it's easier to get in places. I probably will set up a B-roll station just with a mirrorless camera that doesn't move, and then I'll take this throughout the house to get some more shots. So if we go outside and we look at some of the things that we can do, you still can set up your exposure correctly, use the viewfinder to make sure that you're capturing the sky. And the reason why I say I'm capturing the sky is usually there's something in the sky, whether it's nighttime or daytime, where you can make adjustments and make sure that you're actually capturing light appropriately. So what you see on the viewfinder is what you see in the sky. On these shots here, I use the log profile, and what I noticed that about the log profile, it's extremely flexible. It's probably more so flexible than I would recommend. So like if you're learning color correction on the Vivo, I would recommend that you grab a base LUT first. So literally grab the log footage, put a LUT on it that you may have used in the past or know about or is recommended, and then make the adjustments there, because it's going to take a lot of work because they really collapse it down for dynamic range. So if you just look here in the back here, I'm just playing around with some of the zoom settings, and I'm playing around with the shutter in the background. I'm just making sure that I have everything captured. But again, I would not recommend this for the newbie. But for someone that is really doing stuff that they want long term, and you want to do like a project and you're going to be using a smartphone, this is clutch, because no matter where you are, you can match the footage. When we look at video on 4K 60, they don't have stabilization. So you'll have to use a gimbal. Whenever you go into log, you're shooting in 4K 30. It's stabilized right off the bat. You can turn off stabilization and use a gimbal for your stabilization. But I just wanted to point that out. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Vivo changed the way I viewed smartphone photography. I'm literally gonna set up a camera bag. I'm gonna have my normal prime lenses with the camera bag, but I will have the Vivo and the Xiaomi with me at all times. I didn't talk much about Samsung, and that was by design. It's really not about Samsung anymore. They've kind of made their decision. They take great photos, they take great videos, but if you really want to push everything, you go with the Vivo X90 Pro Plus. Now, having said all that, I have other videos on the Vivo, and you can click here and check them out. And again, thanks for everyone that's supporting me. It's truly appreciated. And like I always say, with that, we're out.